All right, what's up everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Strength Classroom. Today we're going to talk about an exercise that was shunned for years and I feel like it's definitely making its way back, push-ups. So to me, push-ups are always overlooked. Number one, because very few people are doing them with weight on their back or even know that there's very easy ways to load up the exercise to make them more challenging. Everyone always just sticks to barbells, dumbbells, and for some reason, body weight movements get thrown out the window when they easily should be in your toolbox. I'm not saying you have to do them with every workout and they have to be a staple of your workout, but they definitely should be making some decently long appearances in your training routine throughout the year. So even though I don't really like the term functional strength, it does build functional strength just for the fact that it hits your core as well, but it's not like to say that your chest, shoulders, and triceps are worked any less than, let's say, a bench press or an incline press or a dumbbell press. Assuming you're loading up a good amount of weight, these can actually be more effective for those pressing muscles. So obviously, to get the most benefit from a weighted push-up, you're going to need to have good form. Don't press with your elbows all the way out to the side, but on the flip side, don't have them all the way sucked in like this. You want to have somewhere of a diagonal humerus or upper arm movement. That's what's going to be a good push-up. You can go wide, you can go narrow. There's all sorts of variations, which I will talk about in the end of the video. So these are actually good for shoulder health because you can press basically until you're through full protraction. Now, full protraction pressing has always got a bad rap. And that's really only bad on bench pressing or anything where you're lying down on something. When you are doing a dip or when you are doing a push-up, you can press so your shoulder comes all the way forward. Because I don't understand where this logic that like certain body movement patterns such as internal rotation, shoulder protraction, hyperextension of the back, those things are only bad if you're doing them with too much weight and your body is all messed up while doing them. If you're doing them with an appropriate amount of weight, that can also heal and strengthen your joints. You don't always want to have your shoulders all the way back. And I've realized it's because I haven't allowed this shoulder to move around like it should, so it's always going to feel stuck in the mud and it's going to have less range of motion. So shoulder protraction is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to squeezing your chest together. What I like about push-ups though is they're always going to be readily available. You can always slap a plate on your back, have someone put a plate on your back or a dumbbell, and all you need is the floor. So if you have access to a gym, you're going to have a good spot to do weighted push-ups. So what are some ways you can modify the push-up for strength? So you're going to add external resistance. You're either going to have a weight vest, put a weight on your back like I just said. You can do resistance bands. You can either loop them around your hands and put them around your back. You can place them across a power rack. You can put your feet up. You can put your hands up. You can modify the exercises to hit different muscles. I find when you put your hands on a bench, that actually hits your pecs a bit more. And I find when you're doing almost like a decline, when your feet is on something, that hits your delts a bit more. Well, obviously, because one looks like a decline and one looks like an incline, that's why it's emphasizing those muscles a lot more. Then you can also add an element to the exercise to make it harder with adding some instability. So you can do medicine ball push-ups, whether it's your foot or your hands on them. This one's really, I don't suggest doing it for high weight. I suggest doing it for high amounts of reps to get some blood in there. You can do it with a stability ball, like the smaller ones. You can do them on 2 sandbags to get some extra range of motion in there. But probably the best one to help with stability is going to be the ring push-up. Why? You can change the angle of your body. You can put weight on your back. You can have the rings come out and come in. So it's almost like a dumbbell fly and a push-up all in one. So those are some ways that you can help strengthen the shoulder joint that bench pressing, barbell pressing, dumbbell pressing might not exactly offer you. And then another method is to just have your hands in different positions. For example, you could have one hand resting on a kettlebell, one hand resting on a dumbbell, one hand resting on a plate, and then the other just on the floor. So one arm is actually getting more range of motion, or it's a little bit unstable, or it's a completely different grip than the other arm, and then you just swap it. Exercises like that, I suggest you do for high reps, but at the same time, why not slap some weight on your back if you're comfortable with the exercise? So any of these methods, whether it's external resistance, changing of the hand positions, or adding an instability component, you actually can connect all three of them or use a mix and match of all three of them to build new strength. That's also what I like about the push-up. People think there's one way of doing push-ups and there's really thousands. I'm a big preacher of the conjugate method and all like the bench press variations and shoulder press and all these different type of variations. You easily can make push-ups your number one exercise and have so many different variations. People think, oh, I'm going to do push-ups, you can add weight and that's about it. But that can't be further from the truth. So some mistakes I want you not to avoid when doing push-ups is craning your neck down. I want your body, the top of your skull to your heels to be almost like a straight line. As you're coming on the way up and you feel yourself slowing down, just keep pressing harder. Do not arch your back and try and get your chest up, because that is artificial movement, I like to say. Try doing a push-up right now. Try doing 5 push-ups with your body completely straight, then try doing push-ups where you start arching up. It's almost like a kipping push-up where you're using momentum. And make sure you brace your core and breathe into your core and try and like suck in your belly button just a little bit. This is equivalent to just bracing yourself. Just because it's a body weight movement does not mean we don't want to be tight and we don't want to be stable. So push-ups, honestly, when performed correctly, are an excellent exercise for building strength, stability, and functional fitness. But by gradually increasing the difficulty of push-ups with these 3 different progressions I mentioned, you can continuously challenge your body and continuously get gains in strength, hypertrophy, stability, all just from a simple push-up, which I think has been unfairly shunned aside for so many years by so many different people. So if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and as always, have yourself a great day, ladies and gentlemen.